Hey YouTube, I'm Debt-Free Joel. On today's personal finance tip, we're going to talk about whether or not Bitcoin is still a good investment. As of the recording of this video, it's about middle of 2022, so this should be good. If you like these type of videos, cool. Click the like and subscribe button, and let's get to it. So, is Bitcoin still a good investment in the middle of 2022? Well, let's look at the facts. The facts is right now, as of the recording of this video, Bitcoin's around 20,000, 21,000 as of this point. It's fell about 2/3 of its value, which was about 66,000 since November of 2021. And I keep getting this question, especially on my Instagram page specifically, about, hey man, what do you think about crypto? What do you think about Bitcoin? Do you think it's going to rebound? And here's my suggestion. You ready? Never ask someone randomly on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram about whether something's a good investment. Yeah, I know. That's not what you expected, but hear me out. Hear me out. Here's what I think you should approach crypto as. Don't listen to me, okay? One of the first things they teach you as it pertains to investing, when you really want to learn about investing, is that you don't listen to somebody telling you whether something's right or wrong to buy. What you do is you take their research, compare it to your research, and come up with a reasonable conclusion. So let me give you some things to think about as it pertains to why you may think crypto or Bitcoin is a good investment. Now, rule number one. People on this channel, we invest for the long term. We don't do short term. So if you're a short-term investor, this may not be applicable to you. But if you're a long-term investor, hear me out. The first thing you should think about Bitcoin is this. Where do you see it 20 years from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now? The real question becomes, do you think Bitcoin is going to be worth more than what it is right now? So right now it's about 21,000. Do you think it's going to be worth 40,000 in 5 years? If you do, the next question to ask yourself is why, right? What are the macroeconomic reasons for why you think Bitcoin is going to be double the price? Number one, probably greed, okay? A lot of people are going to put money into Bitcoin not understanding what it is. They're going to think they understand, but they really don't. So one of the reasons why you may think it's going to go up is because a lot of people are just going to buy it. FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. People are going to buy Bitcoin because they're going to be afraid of the upturn. The same way as they've been scared of the downturn, they're going to be afraid of missing the upturn. So if it starts to pick back up, people are just going to put their money back into Bitcoin. But that's one macroeconomic issue. What you really want to look at is, do you see yourself, or do you see this cryptocurrency, for example, being adopted by a lot of nations, right, as a way to exchange for goods? I'm not talking about Venezuela. Here's a rule of thought. Never take economic advice from Venezuela. It's the worst country to look at, okay? What I'm talking about is some of the major nations, right? Can you go to a movie theater, for example, those of you who still do, can you go to a movie theater and purchase a ticket with crypto, right? Can you go to your neighborhood corner store? Can you go buy things online from Amazon, for example, or all those type of things where you can use crypto? It can be an alternative currency in the country that you're in right now. Do you see that 20 years from now? If you do, it may be a good reason to buy it. Something else to consider. Can you stomach the volatility? Imagine some of you probably bought Bitcoin at 66,000 in November of 2021, and you have probably had some loss of sleep as of the recording of this video. Why? Because it's dropped 2/3 of the value, right? That sucks. And you're watching YouTube and you're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. All these people you depended on in terms of their investment advice, they're nowhere to be found, right? Because they recommended it at 66,000, saying it's going to be 100 grand in 5 months, and now look where you are. Okay, so the question becomes, if you're a long-term investor, can you stomach the volatility? Can you stomach the fact that people are just going to jump into Bitcoin to be greedy? But if you look at it from a fundamental perspective, if you look at cryptocurrency, if you look at the technology under it, if you look at it for what its purpose is, which is an alternative to fiat currency, aka the dollar, aka things that are not backed by gold, right? If you look at it from that perspective, can you stomach the volatility over time? Because guess what? It's going to get more volatile as we go forward. The mere fact that all these people know about Bitcoin means that the mere fact that people are going to start putting their money back into it again and again and again and again and again. Okay? And then they're going to take it out again and again and again and again and again. So you got to understand that there's going to be some issues in terms of volatility. Can you stomach it? And one of the last things I would say is this: we're moving into an ESG environment. Environment. What I mean by that is Environmental, social, and governance. You've been seeing this on the news a lot where people are kind of looking at social issues more as it pertains to investing. Where you're going to have a problem with cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, is the mining. If you noticed in China, they kicked everybody out that was doing mining. Why? Because it was bad for their environment, and obviously China's communist, but at the end of the day, they made the decision, we don't want any mining done in China. And everybody came to the United States and everybody was like, yay, this is great. Look, what's going to happen eventually is that the United States are going to put clamps on the amount of mining for Bitcoin that's going to be done in this country. When that happens, you're going to see some severe pressure as it pertains to Bitcoin. Specifically because of the ESG part, that E part, that environmental part. A lot of people are going to look at climate change, they're going to be looking at climates, and they're going to say, look, cryptocurrency, which is not established in terms of the entire world, it's not adopted by major countries or developed in major countries, for example. We don't want this Bitcoin mining. The bang for the buck in terms of the production of the Bitcoin, in terms of Bitcoin mining, is going to hurt the climate, and we don't like it. So you need to look at the ESG risk and determine whether or not Bitcoin is sustainable in its current form going forward. These are the things you want to think about, right, as it pertains to Bitcoin. My personal opinion, and I'll leave you with this if you got this far in the video. Do I think it's going to be higher than where it is right now 20 years from now? Yes. Do I think people are going to pump up the price? Yes. Do I think that developed countries are going to accept it? No. Do I think that major countries are going to have it as its primary currency? No. Venezuela to me does not count because they're terrible with money. Do I think it's going to be more of a speculative investment still going forward 20 years from now? Yes. And do I think that the environmental issues, the social issues, the governance issues are going to give severe pressure to it? Yes. So if you want to buy 20 years from now and diversify maybe 5% of your portfolios in Bitcoin, I think 20 years from now, you can hold me to it. I think that would be a reasonable investment, but I don't think it's going to be the greatest thing in the world. And even if it does go to 100 grand, fantastic. If it goes to zero, who cares? It's only 5% of your income. So that's my recommendation as it pertains to Bitcoin. If you like these type of videos, cool. Click the like and subscribe button. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at DebtFreeJoel. It's the same name as YouTube. We put a lot of information on there about saving, about investing, and most importantly, about being charitable. Until next time, keep your money up.